Welcome to the Latah Valley Fiber Co. podcast. My name is Tiffany. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I have a couple works in progress that I wanted to share with you, as well as one finished object. I also dyed up a little bit of yarn to put in the shop. 5 colors. Spring inspired. So they're really bright and cheery, so that's kind of fun. A few admin details. You can follow me on Instagram at Latah Valley Fiber Co. You can find my shop on Etsy at latahvalleyfiberco.etsy.com. And if you want to direct message me, you can use my email, lvfiberco@gmail.com. Okay, so it is May. And as most of you know, I am knitting a Christmas Advent for my husband this year. I'm doing, he's going to open from December 1st to the 25th. He's going to open a pair of socks every day. So I have been working on that. My goal was to do 2 a month with 1 month having a couple extra. I haven't done the couple extra yet, but I'll get there. In the summer, I'll not do probably sweaters and cardigans and that type of thing. So this finished pair of socks is, oops. Oh yeah, it's this one. Okay, this is number 8 of 24. I started it April 3rd. I finished it April 27th. It's just a 3x1 ribbed pattern. I didn't use an actual pattern. I've knit so many socks I can kind of just do it. Let's see. I'm using my own hand-dyed yarn in fingering weight. It's called Easy on Me. And the needles I used were 2.25, which is a US 1. I initially cast on 2 at a time on a circular needle, but it was a 16-inch circular needle, so after a while it just got too fiddly. So I put them on DPNs and finished them that way, both at the same time. So here's number 1, and here's number 2. I really love the color, and he will too. They're going to be in his boots, so he won't be too embarrassed by the purple. This, let's see, I did I start cuff down maybe? Let's see. Oh, toe up on this one. I started the gusset at 6 inches here along this part. And then I did a heel flap and gusset. And then I knit the leg portion in the ribbed. And I knit that for 4.5 inches before starting the cuff, which is, I always do a standard 2-inch cuff. So it's really pretty. It's really a nice, I think it'll be a nice fit for him. So the rib pattern is not on this, the foot section. So this was the last pair of socks that I was doing kind of on my own. I have since purchased the sock project from Summerly Designs, and I'm going to knit the rest of the socks out of this book. And I've already cast on, that's in my works in progress, I've already cast on 2 from the book. So this is my finished object, my one for the week, or 2 weeks. Okay. Let's move right along to works in progress, because I've got a few. So this week I'm not going to show you my temperature blanket or my vest, the See My Vest. I haven't done any work on the See My Vest. I've kind of, I don't love it, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it at this point. And so I'm just leaving it in the background to maybe pick up later. We'll see. So I'm not going to show you that one. I'm also not going to show you my temperature blanket because it's a lot. It's getting heavy now. So I'm going to show you once a month at the end of the month. So the end of May here, I will show you the progress I've done for May. And then, yeah, I am up on it. I'm not behind at all. I do 1 row a day. We are moving into some fun colors. So I'm excited to share with you May's colors. Let's move on to the Ginny cardigan by Andrea Mowry. The last time I showed you, I had not, had I started the collar? Oh, I was in the middle of the collar. Well, I've since finished the collar and bound off, and then picked up for a sleeve. And I'm going to put it on this to see if you can see it a little bit better. Oh yeah. Yep. There's the collar. It's going to fold over like that. Oh yeah. Nice. Of course, this is not blocked yet. But I finished the collar. It's got this nice, here's the back. It folds over here. And then when it comes around to the front, it slowly folds over on itself. And I may need to block it. I'm not sure exactly how it's gonna look, but well, I know what the pattern says it's supposed to look like. It kind of just goes in like this, and then yeah. So, but if you've been following, I've had to do a couple modifications because I couldn't get the right numbers for the project to pick up. So anyway, it's knitting, so I can either pull it out or just go, it's handmade. Over here, I've cast on for my left sleeve, and I've knit about 2 inches on it. I'm not doing them 2 at a time. I'm just going to do 1 sleeve at a time. And then you do the, there's a tie that goes with it. So I have 1 more skein of yarn. This is my own hand-dyed yarn. It's DK weight. I dyed it specifically for this project, and I do have some extra, so I'm going to put that in the shop. So if you're interested in maybe doing your own Ginny cardigan with this colorway, you can grab that up. Let's see. It's kind of a fast, methodical. There is a bit of a pattern, but it's really easy to do. So I don't have to think about it too much. It's kind of nice to just knit. I am excited to wear this. It is very, most of the time I don't think of superwash as super warm. But you know, when this is sitting on my lap, and I'm knitting on it, it's warm. So, yeah. I think it'll be great summer, in those cool summer nights, or in the winter. And I love the color. That color is perfect, and I think I'll wear it a lot. So that's the Ginny cardigan. What else about that? I think that's it. Oh, I started that March 20th. So it's taking me a while, but I've got so many other projects going on as well that, yeah, I just keep plugging away at it. I don't really have a time frame that I want it done. It would be nice to wear, I don't know, this spring, but spring's almost over, so, oh well. Okay, my next projects are a couple of socks, and let's see here. We'll start with the first pair that I'm further along on. Okay, I'm using my own hand-dyed yarn. This is the colorway 'Tis the Season. It was a Christmas colorway for 2023, and it's fingering weight sock yarn. This is definitely 75-25 nylon. I am using, out of the Sock Project book by Summer Lee, I am using the Harriet socks, which is, it has a cable. Yeah, it's a cable pattern, and I was initially going to do Scrappy socks. Well, not Scrappy socks. I was going to do a stripe along the top, and I nixed that idea as I was doing it. So they're just straight red, and I am doing them 2 at a time on DPNs, and I have finished the heel and the gusset on both. So now, I wonder if I could, I think I've done this before, so that you're able to show, or you're able to see the, without losing any stitches. Oh, maybe. I don't think I'm far enough along. Nope, and it's all twisty. Okay, maybe not. There is a cabled pattern on both sides, and it runs down. It's a kind of a double pattern that runs down, but then you do the heel flap and gusset, and when you do that, you drop one of the cables. So then, I don't know if you can be able to see this very well. Oh, my needles. Then it's just one cable across the foot to the toe. I am doing, I cast on 78 stitches at the cuff, and then once I finished the ribbing, I decreased to 72 for the rest of it. Yeah, and this is number 9 of 24 socks. I really like it. It's mostly knitting, but then you have this fun detail, and when it's blocked out, you'll be able to see it a little bit better, but it's a fun pattern. I really like it, and this is what the front looks like, and then the back. So it's pretty. I think my husband will like it a lot. Again, I'm using double pointed needles, size 1, and I'm doing them, I'll knit on one for an inch or so, and then I'll pick up and knit on the other one. And when I was doing the heel flap and the heel turn and the gusset, I would just do one of them. So I would do one heel flap all the way, and then I'd pick up the other one and do that heel flap, and then I'd do the heel turn, and then I'd go back and I'd do the heel turn on the other one, and then I'd do the gusset, and then I'd go back and do the gusset on the other one. So I'm in the same place for both socks currently. And these I started in April, I think. Let me see. Oh, April 24th. And it's May 9th. So they'll be done shortly. And then I'm hoping maybe to start do an extra pair for the December when he'll need 3 3 pairs done that month. So we'll see if I can get it done. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so on that note with socks, I've started his next May socks, the second pair, which is number 10. I started these yesterday, and they are the Happy and Scrappy socks by, again, Summerlee Designs. And I am doing the, I picked up a new needle, which I like to do magic loop, but the other one, it was just too small and fiddly. I had a size 16, so this is a size 24 circular needle. It's the Chow size 1, and even this one is a little short. I could have done with the 30, what's the next size up? 36, maybe 24, 36. That sounds right. Length of cord. But it works okay. I think I must have done the other set that I have that's the size 16. I was probably doing my socks on, which I do like a 58, sometimes 64. So, you know, that's less stitches. But with my husband, I'm doing, well, sometimes Summer has you cast on 80 stitches per sock and then decrease to the 72. So anyway, I'm doing the Scrappy ones, the Scrappy socks. And I'm doing that because I have a lot of scraps from all of the socks that I've knit for John, just sitting there. It's like half a skein. So I'm going to use them in this Scrappy pair, which I think Summer is a genius to do. She knits a lot of socks, and I knit a lot of socks. Not this many, but I do knit a lot. And so I started with the cuff. It's a 2x2 rib, and I did that for 2 inches, and then I started with the first color, which is, if you watched, I can't remember what month this was, maybe January or February. This pink, he has a pink pair of socks that I knit him, and might have been February. And so you do 5 rounds and then you switch. So I have all of these scraps, and I even have a couple extra. I'm not sure where I put them. These will for sure be going into this pair of Scrappy socks, and it will probably not be the last pair of Scrappy socks that I knit. I'm gonna have lots of scraps. So this is the Scrappy, let's see, I think that's towards the front. Oh yes, it's page 74 is where it starts. But previous to that, she gives you tips on how to do your striping and how to not get that jog that you have, because when you're knitting socks in the round, you're going, it's more of a spiral. It's not like knitting back and forth. Knitting back and forth, you're flat. It's, you know, but when you knit in the round, it's actually spiraling up, or it's a spiral. So when you add stripes in, you can get a jog that's pretty clear. So she has a tip in there of how to negate that jog. And it's actually a really easy tip. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out with the socks. I looking at it, it looks amazing. Like it looks straight across the stripe, which is pretty cool. What a great tip. So this is the second pair of socks for the month. Oh, I do have, I didn't bring that. I have this orange. So I'm going to do the cuff, which I've already done, the heel flap, and the toe out of this orange color. And this is Latah Valley Fiber Co., my own hand-dyed yarn, in the Twisted Copper colorway. The rest is all, some of it is mine, some of it is Malabrigo, some of it is Cascade. I think the pink is Cascade. So, oh, and I don't even have the pink here to show you. Sorry about that. But yes, I have lots of scraps of yarn. It'll be great for those pairs of socks. Okay, so I started those for $29. Nope. Hold on. 5/8, which was yesterday. Okay, I did cast on 2 at a time magic loop. Oh, just a note on this one. I did watch a YouTube tutorial. I looked through Summer's book. I could not find how to cast on 2 at a time in her book. So either I completely missed it or it's not in there. So I found a YouTube tutorial, and the problem is I used to do 2 at a time all the time. I did toe up. So doing cuff down is a little different. Like the dynamic is the same as far as you cast on the front of one with a ball of yarn, and then you pick up a different ball of yarn and you cast on the entire sock, and then you go back and you cast on the back of the first sock. Okay, do you do that with that's the dynamic for cuff down. For toe up, you just cast on one sock, slide it down, cast on the other sock, and then you work around from there. So it's slightly different, and I just was a little, I couldn't quite figure out. I knew kind of what I was supposed to be doing, but when it came right down to it, I needed someone to walk me through it. So I went on to the Crazy Sock Lady, and I watched 2 of her tutorials, and one of them she casts on DPNs, knits the cuff and then slides it over onto the circular needle. And I was like, well, no, I just want to cast it on. So I found another one. It was by the Unapologetic Knitter, and it was on YouTube. It's like 10 minutes. So it's really, really reasonable. You don't have to watch. I think the Crazy Sock Ladies was like an hour and 50 minutes or something like that. And so I had to move my way through to figure out where to find it. And the Unapologetic Knitter, hers was just the cast on and how you put your stitches on. So it was great. I really appreciated that. I did cast on 72 stitches, and I didn't do any decreasing when I got to the stockinette portion. So there you go. Okay, that is it for socks. I have a new project that I cast on. I was watching a lovely yarn, Amber, and her latest video was about what do you do with these one skeins that you, or one skein of yarn that you pick up on a trip to remember that trip. And I do that. I'll find a yarn shop and I'll go in there and find a local dyer to the area and buy a skein of yarn. Usually it's sock yarn. And I have a little bit of that in my yarn collection. I also own a shop of yarn that I dye. And some yarns don't sell all of the skeins, and so that one skein will just be in the shop kind of by itself. So I decided to use that for this project. I am using, this is a single ply because the pattern recommended a drapey yarn, so I thought, oh, single ply, that'll be drapey. So I'm using Lavender, my Lavender colorway. There is something similar in the shop. It's called Zephyr, and it's a single ply. There's 5 of those in there, but this is just a little bit lighter than the Zephyr, and Zephyr is a little tonal, so it's got the light and then a little bit of dark and a little bit of the light. So this is just one color, basically, Lavender. Okay, so the pattern I am using, so Amber recommended several patterns for a shawl, several for cowls, a hat, mittens. I think that was it. Well, this was one of them, and it's called the Larch. It is free. It's on Ravelry. I started this 5/7 a couple days ago, and the pattern's by Tinksandfrogs, which I thought was a cute name. The needle size I'm using is 3.5, and she has a couple options here. She has you do, what's recommended is a what is it called? It's the crochet cast on. And I didn't want to have to mess with that. So she has an alternate cast on method, and it was fiddly. Like worse than socks. Worse than socks 2 at a time on a circular needle, fiddly. So I cast on 4 or 5 times, and then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have to go with it. So that's what I did. So you cast on 3 stitches, I think, and then you bind off, and sorry, I know that's annoying, up here. So you cast on, and then you end up with this spine going down like that. I think though that oh yeah, is this the right side? I don't think there's a, oh yeah, this is the right side. I have my stitch marker up here to help me because anyway, so you knit and do some increases, and it's like 90 some stitches. Well, she calls for 450 yards. This is 437 yards. So she does give you a, this is what you do if you don't have quite enough. And so what I'm doing is I'm knitting to 84 stitches per side. So that's this section here. 84 stitches on this side, and then 84 stitches on this side. And then you start this lace motif pattern. And it's really pretty. Besides the cast on, it's actually a really easy knit. The fabric is a garter stitch fabric, so who doesn't love garter stitch? Squishy and soft. The yarn is just really, it's really nice actually. I don't generally use single ply because it's not as durable, but this is around my neck, so I think it'll be okay. It'll be like this. Oh yeah, see, that's soft. And then of course I think it's a triangle, comes down at a V in the front. Anyway, I'll put in pictures here of what the pattern says that it should be. So that's the Larch by Tinksandfrogs, and it should be pretty quickly done. That lace section may be a little bit more challenging. This is not, because I'm just increasing and knitting. So yeah, but I'm excited. I just needed something a little different than the vest I was doing. So this is a perfect project. Okay, that is it for my knitting. Let's talk about shop news. Okay, I dyed up this last week 5 different colorways. They're all similarly colored. So there's yellows and purples, pinks, a little bit of green and brown. So you could, if you wanted to do a fade, you could certainly do that with this. It's all DK weight yarn. So these are very springy colorways. I love them. They're bright and cheery. One of them, this one here, is more of pastels. It has some bright yellows in it, but it's mainly a pastel skein of yarn. So, but you could easily combine these and make a great project out of it. And then the yellow, it has this slight flecks. It's mainly yellow, but it does have slight flecks of blue and green in it. And it's just beautiful. I really like it a lot. This was a fun one to come up with. So I hope you all enjoy it as well. But see, you could even do this with the little pops. This one has the burnt orange, yellow sunshine color. Oh, I love that. It's so bright and vibrant. And it also has a little bit of the pastel grayish green in, as well as some brown pops of, it's kind of a brown, what color would you call that? Burnt orange with the brown. So it's beautiful. And then this one is kind of my favorite. I love both of these colors. The brownish burnt orange with the pop of bright purpley pink. I love it a lot, actually. So these could even go together as well. So those will be in the shop tomorrow. So watch for those. And then I do have 5 skeins of this colorway. This is the color I used for my Ginny cardigan. And I'm not going to use the rest of it. I had dyed 10. So I'm going to put this. It's more of a solid color. There is a little bit of lighter gray in there in the skein, but overall it's pretty solid, as you can see by the Ginny cardigan. I am going to dye this and keep it in the shop on several bases. So if you're interested, just let me know and I'll get that dyed up. That's it. I'm so excited for spring. So another couple things coming to the shop, or another thing coming to the shop, is project bags. I'm going to sew up a few project bags and have them in the shop for June. So if you've been enjoying the project bags that I've shown the last couple of episodes, they'll be similar to this. And then I have this one. I love this gray spring fabric as well. So there'll be this design with the tassels and the colors on the bottom and the top. On the inside, I am actually going to do, it's going to be this one. The color that's on the bottom and the top is also going to be the color on the inside. I think it's way more cohesive that way and pretty. So that will be coming to the shop in June, the first part of June. So you can watch for that as well. Okay, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your making. See you next time.